Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Oh, okay, sure.
I was actually sexualized a lot.
How much can a person like you charge for 1 hour?
I went out party with the crew and Elon Musk.
Jan here today, and today I have with me Anastasia. Before watching this video already, please give a like, subscribe to this channel, and maybe comment down below who you think it would be interesting to interview. With this said, Anastasia, describe yourself in 3 words.
Spontaneous, extroverted, and connected. What about you?
Oh, I think this is not about me, it's about you, but I would say spontaneous, extroverted, smart, I would say. Okay, I like to see myself as smart. But yeah, Anastasia, you started Fee Mentor at 20. What was the reason? Was this ambition or trying to prove something?
I started Fee Mentor because I had mentors in my life. I had my first mentor when I was like 14. From the age of 14 to 18, I had over 15 mentors. I had the privilege of having a mom who has a PR agency, so she already had contact. It's not normal for an 18-year-old girl. Knowing that this was kind of a privilege, I didn't want to feel ashamed of it. I wanted to share the network that was given to me. I found a platform where you can find a mentor for free. We were the first reverse mentoring company in Europe, expanded worldwide. I think it was kind of a way to show that it is possible to found as a young female.
I like that you always take the microphone. No, I'm like, what? Okay. No, it's like, okay, when people were doubting you, what was the comment or maybe something you will never forget?
I was actually sexualized a lot from the beginning. So we all know the movie Lolita. And since I was 14, I was sexually always interesting for men, definitely above my age, starting at an age of 40 to 65. And I was 14, just keep that in mind. And I was not interested, they weren't me. And I think I was always sexualized. And that was definitely something that happened as well in the startup scene. When I kind of entered it, that I was like seen as the sexy young thing that liked to wear short skirts, like even not too short. I didn't walk around like an OnlyFans girl. I just wore like regular dresses a Gen Z woman wears at an age of 20, and that is trending, or I wore like a crop top and it kind of showed a bit of my belly button. And I think I was sexualized quite a lot, and people underestimate you. As a woman, you get so many thoughts on what you wear. I kind of had the drive to kind of show them I may be looking different than any other female founder, but I'm not less, and I definitely tried to show that, and I think I did.
I also researched a bit before about you, and you mentioned in some of your posts, I think, that you were bullied at school. How did this shape you as a founder?
Bullying definitely was a big part of my life. I was bullied in school from first grade till the 10th, and then I changed school. I'm Gen Z, so we were the first generation that grew up with social media without any rules on it. Then it was not forbidden to send nudes. You could not have a function where you can outsource hate comments. Like, we had to see all of this shit. I think that definitely made me stronger.
Do you feel sometimes you skipped maybe your 20s?
I was born in Berlin and I was raised in Berlin, so many people come to Berlin to have this kind of wild party life. I had that when I was 14 to 18. So I definitely had enough party in my life. That's why I also wrote my book, because I wanted to show that startup business world is so much about parties. Business happens at Berghain, and there's so many things that you don't really know about if you're not in this kind of inner circle. In 2022, when Elon Musk was here, I went out party with the crew and Elon Musk. If you're in the startup scene, you have an international network of founders that you can really party with, and they party like crazy. Something I've never experienced like this before.
Share a specific moment?
No, I cannot. I'm not sharing anything from that.
How do you like deal with friendships and also maybe dating in this situation? Specifically, you're a founder and you're a woman.
Thanks for clarifying that. I'm a woman. If you haven't noticed, in Berlin, you have to say that. We have 18% female founders in Germany currently, and the numbers were 20. I always said I don't want to date a founder. Your startup, it's your baby. There's the startup, then there's a bit of me time, and then everything else. I definitely did that the first 3 years. I didn't want anyone to judge if I'm dating, if I'm in a relationship, or if I'm not, because I know so many girls don't get funding because they are taken.
In one sentence, what's one of the worst advices you have gotten as a female founder?
In general, as a founder, like, you need to study.
What fear does keep you awake at night? I also have fears that keep me awake, but my fears, maybe sometimes I'm afraid of I'm not enough. Sometimes I have that fear. I think sometimes about like specific situations that happened to me in the past, and then I kind of recall the situation, and maybe it's like an awkward moment or a moment where I did a mistake, and in that moment I kind of revive my fears. I relive this moment. This keeps me sometimes awake at night, I must say.
Don't have moments that I relive. I just let it happen. I was always afraid the loss of a close family member, and I lost my grandfather this year. That fear I always had, to not be able to say goodbye to a loved one. It's kind of like a fear of mine that everything happens at the same time, and then it actually did, and I'm like, okay, I survived, so let's just go to the basics. I'm afraid of heights.
You will be mentored at 20, and what was the first time that you received money from this?
We started in October 2019. I was winning a prize back then. So actually the first time I earned money around Fementor was first day we launched the website because I won a prize from the Berliner Heldenpreis. And I won not only a prize, but also money with it. So I earned money from day one.
Everybody loves the statement, purpose over profit. Is it true?
You ask a founder of a social startup, was this great? I think actually there are numbers that females found startups more with like a ideological ground. So we'd rather found startups that are social than like profit orientated. I did have the opportunity to take part at Höhle der Löwen 3 times and I always declined because then I would have had to change the whole business model and I didn't want that. I wanted Fementor to stay free. And that was like a very specific decision I made back then. I think for me, purpose was always on number one, but then time. Like I think money wasn't the thing that kind of driven me, but I think I didn't have enough time anymore to do all the projects that I wanted to do.
When did you feel like, okay, I can live from this startup?
I didn't do this for the money. I've never came from a background where I had to do a startup for money, so I was always comfortable. I've also spoken quite openly about it. So there was never the moment where I was like, I have to do a startup to earn money. I built a personal brand and the money kind of came because companies wanted to work. So even when I did like an outreach or like companies reached out to me and said, oh, we want to work with you, they always offered me a certain amount of money. So I didn't even have to ask for that. And I was like, oh, you want to pay me this much money? This is amazing. I take it. So that's kind of my way of doing it.
Okay, interesting. What is one of the biggest financial mistakes that you have done?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I like investing. And I think I also was invited to UBS to invest into startups. And like I was invited for this 3-day trip and everything. And there were 2 startups that kind of did a great job and they had a big exit and I did not invest. A mistake I made to be too careful and not invest the money.
Oh man, this answer was strong, I must say, because actually I searched for something else, but you are really good in pivoting this question into something. You're good with words. How much money can be made with a startup like this?
A lot of speaker agencies that I have worked with sadly don't exist anymore. It's quite hard to monetize it. If it's about profit for you, I would not recommend doing a network platform.
If you're giving a talk, how much can a person like you charge for 1 hour?
Between 1,500 to 15,000. And always depends on what is the topic that you like. For example, in the beginning of my days, I started talking free for foundations because I wanted to give back and I was already earning money. So it always depends. It's quite a bright range.
Great range with a nice lower end, I must say. 1,500 to 15,000, not so bad. You create an event, you charge for this event, let's say 10,000 bucks. What is the profit margin you can take home?
It depends. Definitely my favorite word. So like when you host an event, which I frequently do, you have a company normally as a sponsor and if you're lucky or if you have like an audience like I do, you get the location sponsored, you get a paid sponsor that kind of hosts the event with you and pays for it. Can go from 2,000 to like 20,000 what you can earn by hosting events. Most companies or most sponsors are paying for the location, catering, or you find people like, for example, we had like an event with Lululemon yesterday and we had location sponsors, we had partners on board that supported us, and then the cost that you have to actually pay for gets lowered by finding more sponsors.
Interesting, very interesting. Have you ever thought about raising money and you're bootstrapping this?
First of all, females get 1 or 2% of all invested money on the market. And I think some startups definitely need to raise money. If you have a product, you grow better with like more organically if you bootstrap than having investors because they put so much pressure on you that most startups fail.
What is like the burn for Fementor right now? Like burn rate, monthly burn rate that you have, like costs? Oh, you don't want to talk about it. Oh, okay, sure. If you would start from zero again and would want to reach 10,000 revenue, how would you approach this?
I would put a lot of money into social media. Social media nowadays is the biggest turning point for every company. I would invest money into social media ads. I would build a personal brand on social media and then monetize off of that. I would create like a personal feeling on this. People would feel like you're recommending something of a friend is recommending it to me. Normally
female founders, they don't talk so much about money. Do you think this is like something that hurts them?
I think we should talk more about money, just in general, because in Germany you don't talk about money, and also in companies you don't talk about how much you earn. And I love the question, how much money do you make? I think that's so interesting. But I also understand that some people cannot talk about because they signed a contract or they don't feel comfortable doing it. And I think especially women, we're being told to not talk about certain things and also like not show off. I think many female founders give the impression that they're showing off and then they'd rather not talk about money at all, even though it's definitely something we should talk about because money is a tool.
Is there like a specific number that you think if I make, let's say, 10 million bucks with this, I call it, I go home?
There was never a certain amount of money where it was like, I need to make this to kind of stop, because that's not an option for me. I don't want to stop. Nothing that I'm doing. I don't do things for money. I do things for joy and for the purpose. I'm more successful with money because companies feel that I'd rather do something for maybe a bit less of money, but with a bigger drive than just running after money, but kind of selling my soul.
Let's imagine there's the 18-year-old self there in the camera. What would you say to your 18-year-old self?
Take your time, enjoy your early 20s, have the time of your life, make mistakes, go travel, do the fun things, do the dangerous things, do the stupid things, as long as nobody's looking at you, and don't let yourself pressured into studying a certain job or something that doesn't feel like you. Don't do things for others.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoy this kind of content, please give a like, subscribe to this channel, and comment down below what other things you might have asked Anastasia today. Thank you so much for being here today with me. And yeah, see you next week. Ciao.
Ciao. Yay.
Okay, nice.